Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I am doing an update on basically my mental health, specifically an update on depersonalization, derealization, and where I'm at now in this present time, September 27th, 2019. Got some coffee and yeah, maybe I'll zoom in a little bit more. All right, little change of scenery. We are in the bedroom and the window's right there, so perfect. But yeah, so an update. The last update that I made was a while ago. It was around May of last year. So it's been a while. A lot has changed. So do I still suffer from depersonalization, derealization? If you don't know the definition, I will probably leave something right here for a few seconds. But I don't actively suffer from it. I don't suffer from it on a day-to-day basis anymore, thankfully. But do I think it has gone away completely? No. And the reason why I'm saying that is because there are times where I'm in certain situations that would normally really get my anxiety going. Driving is one of them, it still is. And you know, I would drive, I could feel myself getting worked up, and I know if I let my mind go to that place, I will experience depersonalization and derealization. But the biggest thing that has changed for me is that I've learned to control my thoughts and my mind so much to the point where I don't let myself get worked up and have a panic attack and go through dpdr. I just won't do it. I want to show you guys my CBD vape pen. I told you guys that I was taking like CBD oil because the motion of vaping reminded me too much of smoking marijuana, which is the thing that started this whole thing for me. I developed anxiety, bad anxiety, panic attacks, dpdr, all of that from a certain marijuana experience that traumatized me, and I'll leave that link there for you guys because it's long story short. I felt like I overdosed on a marijuana gummy, and I drove while I was high, and I went into tunnel vision, and I couldn't feel my hands on the steering wheel or my feet on the gas pedal. And it was an extremely scary time. And so I pulled over, called my boyfriend at the time, he picked me up. And then after that, it slowly, the trauma it pretty much just stuck with me since then. And from probably like July of 2017 until September of 2018, I didn't drive at all. I was petrified. When I tell you petrified, like, it's all in there. I have videos for days, but I didn't want that to be today. Just an update. Back to me being able to control my thoughts, and that is just the biggest thing that has helped me. Because like I said, if I let that thought consume me, then I will go into tunnel vision while I'm driving, and I will have a full-blown panic attack. And if I'm alone in the car, it's like 50 times worse. So I don't let my mind go there. And things that help me personally not get to that mindset, my place, is I have to make sure my air is turned up. Even if my air is like full blast, I like to adjust the air. Like I go like that, fix the the air vents. I turn the music up, I lower it. I just have to be doing things, touching things, bringing myself to the present moment. Like I'll open my windows for a little bit, let my fingers, let the wind go through my fingers, and just doing things to bring myself to the present time. So that is mainly what I'll do. Even if I'm not driving, whatever I'm doing, if I can feel it coming along, I just have to touch things, and I have to make sure that I'm cool, like that I'm like cooled off and not hot. We will get into my triggers in a second, but I feel like I am doing so well right now mentally, but I do have ways to go. Like I said, I don't think my dpdr and my panic attacks have fully gone away, but it is so much easier to control them because I've learned how to change my mindset and know that I'm not in any real danger and know that I am okay. It's just my mind conjuring up things to screw me over. And it's fear that wants to win, and I'm not letting it win. Easier said than done, trust me, I know. I've dealt with dpdr for months and months, and it was the worst time of my life. December of 2017 was the worst time of my life. Like, when I tell you I was so low in life, I didn't know how I was going to come out of this deep pit. I did not know how. And nobody around me has experienced this before, so they can't tell me. There was nothing they could say or do to make me feel better because they didn't know what I was going through. And that's not to say anything bad, because do you know what dpdr is? If you clicked on this video, you probably do. You're probably suffering from it, but I had no idea dpdr even existed before I've experienced it. And I don't remember the exact first time that it happened, but it's just an out-of-body experience. And I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's really hard to explain, but just things around me didn't feel real. And I didn't feel like I was in that time and place at that time and place, you know? So yeah, I didn't think I was going to be able to get out of it, but the hardest thing and the biggest thing that you have to do is control your thoughts and change your mindset. That's the biggest thing, and it's also the hardest thing to do. It's doable, it's possible. You can get past this and you will become stronger because of it. That's the biggest thing that's helped me, was control my thoughts, change my mindset. Another big thing I've said in a video is CBD, cannabidiol, from the hemp plant, and you have the psychoactive component and the non-psychoactive component of the hemp plant. And the psychoactive is what gets you high, it's what alters your mind, it gets you feeling, you know, good and like zooted, you know. And then the non-psychoactive is just the properties that benefit you when you're smoking. Like, it relieves pain, it calms you down, you know, it helps you sleep if that was a thing for you, if you had insomnia. It's just the beneficial part of smoking. And that is why I recommend CBD to a lot of people and why I personally take it. When I first started taking CBD, I bought the oil, CBD oil, and I would start off with 15 to 30 milligrams. 30 is usually what does it for me, but it's up to you. I have a whole video on it of frequently asked questions and just everything you need to know about CBD, who it's safe for, is it safe for babies, is it safe for dogs, you know. Yes, but there's a whole video on that, and I highly recommend you take a look at it or do your research on it. When I first started taking CBD oil, I would take it every single day because my anxiety was so bad, and I would have panic attacks any time of the day. It would just come out of nowhere, you know. So that was over a year ago. And then once I started controlling my thoughts better and getting my mind right, I wouldn't take CBD every day. I would take it maybe 3 to 4 times a week. And now I don't take CBD when I'm not working. Pretty much on the days that I'm not working, aka on the days that I don't have to drive long distances, I don't really take it because I don't feel the need to. But what got me from taking the CBD oil to vaping is when I ran out of my CBD oil, I wanted something that would hit my system even quicker than the oil, and I found this to be it, because, you know, 1 or 2 puffs, like, blue light comes on, and then I would do like 2, maybe 3 of those puffs, and then I would feel it and I'd be good. So that's why I wanted to switch to the vaping. And at first, like I said previously, I didn't originally want to do a vape because it was too close to smoking weed for me, like smoking a joint. but I've learned to, you know, decipher the two, obviously, and it doesn't, you know, it doesn't affect me as much. Now, driving was one of the biggest triggers for me, and something that'll trigger my panic attack and my dpdr. But you know, September I started getting back on the road of last year because I started this new job, and the first week of that job I spent $60 in Uber rides, and that's not gonna fly because I'm not made of money. So something had to be done, and my boyfriend has a job. He can't take me to work every day, you know. The very first day that I decided to drive, I said to my boyfriend, hey, can you drive with me your car? And was he in front? I think he drove behind me, and I took the back roads. I didn't take like any open roads where there was a lot of cars. I just took the back roads, and I felt like that was the safest for me. I don't know. He followed me to work, and I drove, and I was like so proud of myself, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this. And you know, when you do something like that, when you face your fear, afterwards you just feel so good. You're like, you're high off of endorphins, like you just feel so confident. And when you're confident, the fear kind of diminishes a little, or it goes away for a little bit. So then I drove home after work that day, fine. And then I kind of just did it every day. He didn't follow me to work every day. It was probably just that one time. But that's all I needed, was that little push and that little help. At first it was hard, but the more you do it, the easier it gets, and the smaller the fear for that thing gets. So when the fear goes down and your confidence goes up, that means these problems don't happen as much. Like these mental problems don't happen as much. Nowadays, you know, I'm still driving. I've driven over like small bridges and, you know, open roads. Now I take main roads and things like that, but it still is something that I battle every day, driving. Now, driving down the street to my mom's house is not a big deal, or driving, you know, short distances, things that are like, you know, 5-10 minutes away, that's fine. But things that are far, or taking the highway, taking roads that are, I don't know how to explain it, but taking roads that, as if you're going on a road trip, and roads that just seem to go on forever, like those things kind of trip me out, and I try to avoid those types of roads as much as I can because it triggers me, I guess. I went from taking the back roads to work every day to now I just take the main road, which is so much easier. It's just a straight shot, and I'll smoke my CBD vape in the car while I'm driving. A few things I have to make sure it's cool in the car, like the AC is blasted, and you know, I have the music going, not too loud, but music going. And now we'll get into the triggers, like stoplights, red lights. If I'm sitting at a red light for too long, in the beginning it was so bad for me because I just felt like I was gonna let go of the brake and I was gonna crash into the car in front of me, or I just felt like my body was just gonna like lose control, and I would like zoom off and crash. My mind was just concocting so many scenarios back then. So driving for me, a trigger is, one, if it's hot, it has to be ice cold. Like I have to feel, but this is everywhere. The wet, like just temperature wise, I have to be cold because heat triggers it so bad. Now I live in Florida. Clearly it's hot almost every single day of the year. And it's not like I don't go to the beach and I don't tan, you know, I don't do that. Like I do that and it is hot, but I'm fine nowadays with that. But like being in an elevator where it's hot, that triggers. Just being hot in general, like body temperature. My body temperature is already so freaking high. I don't know why. Like every time my boyfriend like even touches me in the slightest bit, like, you're so warm. How is that possible? I don't know. But I have to sleep with my AC 73 degrees or lower or cooler. And I also don't like being alone. Like back when my panic attacks and DPDR were at its prime, I could not be home alone. Like I couldn't. Silence and just knowing that I'm home alone was like so hard for me to grasp. It was so hard for me to do. Now, as you can see, well, you probably wouldn't know, but I am home alone. Abby is right here on the floor. I don't consider myself being home alone because she's here. And she does help me a lot if I'm dealing with things. And it's not like she's a service cat or like, you know, certified companion animal, but it's like she knows if I'm like really suffering. But I'm good right now. And like silence would be like a trigger for me. And when I say trigger, it's not like if these things happen, I'm gonna go crazy, because like I said, I learned how to control these things, but it's something that if those things did happen, I need to either change that. Like if I'm super hot, I either need to make sure I turn the temperature down, or I need to put myself in a situation where I'm cooler. Or if it's silent, I need to like turn music or something on, or talk, or like talk to somebody or hear someone's voice. That's what I mean by triggers. All right, so my camera overheated as per usual, and I don't really remember where I left off. I think I was talking about like my triggers. So those are my triggers, you know, with the driving situation. And also like when I'm driving, if it is like pitch black outside, like some days I have to go to work at 6, so it's still dark out. I don't know why, but when it's super dark and there's not really like well lit roads, that kind of like freaks me out a little bit. So I have to like, you know, mess with things that I talked about before, like the AC and the radio and everything. And also when it's like downpouring, like raining super hard and it's pitch black outside. There was like a scenario where that happened on my way to work. It was dark out. It was raining hard as heck. And it was just super scary. My windshield wipers like weren't going fast enough for me. And you know, I couldn't see anything like past 3 feet. I just couldn't see anything past my car. It was super damn scary. And for some reason, I wanted to go from the main roads that were somewhat lit up to the back roads because there were less cars there, but there was also less lighting, so it was even darker, and I don't know where my mind was. And also when it's dark out and there's like bright lights, like for some reason bright lights, I was looking at another video of someone with dpdr, and bright lights was another thing, was something that, you know, was a trigger for them. So yeah, I don't think I really have any other. And also caffeine. Now, what? I say caffeine because there's times like when I'm out, if I'm not in the comfort of my own house, let's say I'm at work, I want something to wake me up, so I make coffee or like green tea or something. If I drink caffeine like on an empty stomach especially, that triggers my anxiety so much. And if I'm at work, I think that's another big thing. Like if I'm at work and I drink caffeine, I feel like my body temperature increasing, my anxiety is getting worse, and I'm like, yo, I feel like I could have a panic attack at any moment. And I would be like tempted to tell my boss like, yo, can I leave? I haven't done that, but like caffeine is a really big trigger. I'm drinking caffeine because I'm home, I feel fine, like I'm okay, you know, my baby girl's right there, and it's not like I have any place to be. I could go to my mom's if I want, but you know, it's a trigger for me sometimes, depending on my surroundings and my situation, mainly if I'm at work or if I'm at a place where I know I'm gonna be stuck there for a minute, like let's say I'm at a meeting, or you know, where I can't really leave. That triggers it for me too. Elevators, like I take the elevator every day when I'm, you know, coming and leaving my home. Just like the thought of getting stuck for some reason like really messes me up. Now this video is about my dpdr, but I know I can trigger a panic attack and like an out-of-body experience if I think about it too much while I'm in the elevator. Even though it's like 15 seconds long, the elevator ride, but still, it's like an enclosed space. Like being enclosed is another trigger for me. Like forget about it, going on like water slides and things like that where I'm like trapped, like I can't do it. So yeah, but overall, before this video gets too long, I am doing so much better. I've learned how to control my mind and thinking and knowing that I'm okay. Like that was the biggest hurdle to get over, but it can be done. And you know, CBD, where's my pen? I highly recommend CBD oil, whether you want to vape, if you want to do the oil, they have capsules, they have like topical creams you can use. They have like drops that you can put like in your beverage, you know, they have so many different types of CBD. CBD is going mainstream, so it's pretty much on every corner, everywhere. So with that being said, you do have to make sure you are buying from a reputable source. You know, you can order it online, but make sure you look at the reviews, make sure you know what you are investing in, because there are a lot of scams out there. There are a lot of, you know, products that pretty much are just sugar water and doesn't do crap for you. So I could leave a few links down below of some brands that I recommend. But I do want to see, hold on one second. I'm on my phone now. Under my CBD video, there were a few questions that I did answer underneath the comment, but I want to address here. One of them was, do you take any anxiety medicine? If so, have you talked to your doctor before you took the CBD oil? No, I do not take any medications, and this is for the past 2 years. So I went vegan almost 3 years ago. Shortly after I went vegan, I stopped taking all medications, including Advil, Tylenol, aspirin. Like, I don't even take cough drops anymore. I don't take anything that is not natural. I believe there is a natural alternative to every medicine you could think of. Every medicine. So I don't take any anxiety medications if it's not natural, like a natural oil or herbal tea or something. I don't take it. And have you talked to your doctor before you took the CBD oil? No, I just did my own research. I did plenty of research on CBD and, you know, everything it entails. Prior to taking CBD, I was petrified of taking it because I don't like anything that alters my mind. You know, I would drink on occasion, but anything that like alters my mind, you know, when I used to get high, like smoke weed, whatever, and how it does that mind altering thing, like I was scared that the CBD would do that, but it does not. It calms you down. It took my racy thoughts. Like I was thinking so much. I was overthinking 24/7. I still do it, but not nearly as much as how I used to. And it took all of that and kind of just like relax a little bit. So you don't feel like you're high. You don't feel like you're, you know, under the submission of some sort of freaky substance. Like, it just calms you down and it mellows you out a little bit. And that's it. There's nothing else to it. So no and no. Do you use it every day, or do you just take it whenever you need it? In the beginning, I took it every day for a few months, and now I just take it on occasion when I need it, when I'm driving, when I just feel a little bit more anxious or, you know, antsier than normal. Did you cure your dpdr completely with the CBD, and how long did it take? I've definitely improved my dpdr, like, tremendously, but I still feel like it could happen if I let my mind go there. How long did it take? It took a couple months, but in combination with training your mind. You have to train your mind. There's no medication. I'm sorry, but there's no medication out there that will take your depersonalization, derealization, your anxiety, your panic attacks, all of that. There's nothing that'll take it away completely. It might take it away while you're taking the medication, but if you were to go off of the medication today, it'll come back. So you have to train your mind. You have to do it yourself. And it's hard, but it can be done. How long after did it start working? CBD works like maybe 15 minutes after you take it, or if you're like vaping, like right away. And it calms you down right away. But like I said, you gotta work on it, on your thoughts. A lot of these questions are repetitive, so I'm just scrolling through them. There's a couple that are talking about how they don't know if if CBD is available in the UK. I can look for you and leave a link below, but I'm not too sure about that. I don't know about other countries, you know, the legalness of it, or like where you can get it. Which one do you think is better? I heard the taste isn't great. So the taste, I will cover real quick. It sucks. Like, it does not taste good in my opinion. It does smell and taste a lot like marijuana, in my opinion. It just doesn't taste good, but it works really well. So I have severe anxiety, but I'm scared to death to take medication. Do you vape, edibles, or the drops better? Or do I think? I think all of them work well. I don't take the edibles like the gummies because a lot of them have gelatin and I don't consume gelatin. But I like the oil and the vape a lot. I would say oil number one and then vape. I want relief so bad I can't sleep at night. Yeah, definitely CBD. It really helps with insomnia. But on the contrary, it also helps with energy. Crazy how that works, right? I'm not really sure why, but it does. How many milligrams is the one you took? So in the beginning, I took like 15 milligrams, you know, see how I feel, and then I would take more. So up to like 30 to 35. But, you know, like I said, I have a video on that. And also do your own research, you know. If you feel comfortable going to your doctor, go to them and ask them. I hope this update was helpful for you guys. I thought I was alone when I was going through dpdr, but if you do a quick search here on YouTube, there are so many people that are suffering from this, and it sucks. It feels like you're stuck and you're never gonna get out of it, but it will get better. It'll get a lot better. Just do things to keep you busy. That was one thing that really helped, keeping myself busy. If I'm at work, so when it was in its prime and I was working, I would be super scared that I was gonna have a panic attack. Like, I started working myself up, and the more I think about it or the more I thought about it, the worse it got. But I noticed as soon as like we got a huge hit at work and I was like boom, 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 going, I didn't have time to think about it, so I wouldn't think about it. Next thing you know, an hour and a half later, I'm like, wow, that was awesome. I didn't think about it, I was fine. It's like I was back to normal. So keep yourself busy. Read self-help books. I highly recommend this book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I'm halfway through with it. An awesome book. I love self-development books. This one is an awesome book. Whatever hobbies you like to keep yourself busy, sports, you know, do that. Hang out with friends, be around people, be around family, you know, adopt an animal. A lot of the times animals know when you're going through it. Like I adopted her when she was 8 weeks old, you know, and I didn't train her to do this, but she knows when I'm like feeling really bad and hurt and like just scared. Like, she knows. So, you know, if you want to adopt a cat or dog, that's also a really good idea, but just know that you will be okay. You are not in any real danger. And, you know, one thing that I do want to say is, as scary and frustrating and mad you are about having this, the thing that will help you the most is doing the thing that scares you. For me, back then, I couldn't even walk into a grocery store by myself. I couldn't do it because just the thought, going in there, getting whatever I had to do, standing in line, not knowing anybody around me was so uncomfortable and was so scary for me. I just overthought and was like, you know, what if that happens? And what if I have a panic attack and I just like drop all the groceries in my hand and I just like burst out and scream, and I just like, what happens if I do this? And I just overthought so many scenarios in my head. But like the first day of driving for me, once I did it and I got over that fear, I became confident, I became excited. I'm like, okay, you know, maybe I can do this. So doing the thing that scares you is what's gonna help you the most, as scary as it is. I'm gonna leave a link to a video that Will Smith made. He's really big in conquering his fear.
There's zero fear. You realize that the point of maximum danger is the point of minimum fear. It's bliss. The lesson for me was, why were you scared in your bed the night before? What do you need that fear for? 16 hours before you jump. Why are you scared in the car? Why could you not enjoy breakfast? What did you need that? The fear of what? You're nowhere even near the airplane. Everything up to the stepping out, there's actually no reason to be scared. You don't have to jump. And then in that moment, all of a sudden, where you should be terrified is the most blissful experience of your life. And God placed the best things in life on the other side of terror. On the other side of your maximum fear are all of the best things in life.
So I really love that quote. What I take from that quote basically is, you overthink and work yourself up and build up this terror, this fear, and this feeling in the pit of your stomach. all the way up until, he's talking about when he was skydiving, all the way up into the point where you're about to jump out of the plane and you are so scared. You've worked yourself up so much. You think you're gonna die when you get out of the plane, right? When you jump out. Until you jump out. Until the maximum point of your fear is the minimal point. You feel danger. Once you jump out of the plane, you're like, oh, this isn't so bad. Why was I getting myself worked up so much? You know, I'm okay. This is bliss. Like, I'm fine. And that's what I mean. Like, face your fears, because if you're worried, if you're panicking, if you are suffering from all of this, you know, all of these things, that's when fear is at its greatest. But fear cannot exist. Fear cannot thrive if you're confident, if you are excited, if you are... Does that make any sense? Like, once you face your fears will go away. So it's something that you have to work towards every day. You have to do one thing. I saw this, another thing that says, do one thing every day that scares you. Not only does it make you stronger, but you fear that thing less, and you grow from it and you become more comfortable with it, and you know, in the long run you just become stronger. So driving was a big fear for me. I drive every day now, and even if it's a little bit, I just do it, and now I'm okay with driving. You know, my next thing will be driving on a highway, driving on a bigger bridge. That's my next goal, and I will get there. I know I will. Like, I'm confident in it because I know I'll be okay. So just push yourself. Just push yourself past your comfort zone, and that is the only way you will get through this. That, along with controlling your thoughts and reversing those old patterns of self-doubt and panic and, you know, all that shit that you're feeding your mind, all that shit that you're feeding your fear. Learn to stop that and retrain your mind to see the good and to know that you will be fine and you'll be okay. And yeah, that is all I have to say about that, you guys. I have no idea how long this video is going to be. Hopefully not too long. I don't want to bore you guys. And if you have any other questions, please leave them below. If you are new to the Fam Bam, please consider subscribing. Once I hit 900, I am going to be giving away another gift card of your choice. And yeah, I hope you guys learned something from this video. You know that you're not alone in this, and we are fighting the great fight together, and we'll be okay. Have a great day and night wherever you are in this lovely world, and I will see you very soon. Bye.